For their effort tonight. Certainly was not our best game overall. We did get off to a good start from three in the first half, but second half started missed some easy ones around the rim as well, and that kind of hurt us. In preparation for this game, our guys, going through scouting report and stuff, we communicated to the guys it was going to be a slower game. And they played much faster than we were anticipating. And so we had to adjust to that initially. I thought they did a nice job of attacking the press initially and throwing it up the court and trying to get some quick advantages. They clearly, focus on getting the ball inside and had some success doing that as well. And they substitute quite a bit. And so there were a lot of different guys coming in and out throughout the game that our guys had to adjust to. But all in all, I thought our guys did a nice job of finishing the game out.
Your guys are shooting right at 40% from three-point range this season. Did you think coming into the year that this would be a really good three-point shooting team? And when you put the roster together, how big a priority was that for you?
Yeah, definitely a big priority. I mean, a lot of these guys had shown that they could do it at other places, and certainly that was part of the equation. It's putting together a collection of players that could fit together. And certainly shooting provides a lot of space and helps us, utilize that open space to be able to get drives to the basket. And when you have two big guys that can shoot as well, that can be really helpful.
I know we've talked about this a few times, but you mentioned in the preseason the idea that you didn't want to put anybody into a box. You'd kind of see what they brought to the court. Now that we're 10 games in, do you feel like you have the sense of who everybody is and what their role should be?
Yeah, I think we're getting there. Certainly, we have to actually see them in some high-pressure situations, too. And I think we had last week, more the Dayton game, than necessarily the Texas game. You begin to get a feel for, who can rise up at key times. And, we haven't been in that tight of a game, at this point. So I think you learn from every opportunity that we get out on the court. But I think the guys have a good feel of, who's really good at what and where we need them to be.
Yeah, Sam Lewis had 3 assists through the first 6 games of the season. He's got 12 in the last 4. He was also the leading scorer today. What have you sort of seen from him recently as an on-ball player, both as a playmaker and as a driver?
Yeah, I think that's an example of just overall our team is passing the ball better. I just told him in there, like, this could be one of the best passing teams that I've ever coached and we have ever coached, and we have a chance to do that. When it's easy to see when we get away from it, all of a sudden we don't have as much success. And so we want to keep our guys in that mindset, and Sam certainly is in that mindset right now of hitting the open guy. And it always helps when guys are knocking down shots.
Kind of following up on Mike's question, with 10 games in, have you figured out more of the identity of this team, kind of learned from being on the 2 of the road games and now heading in, I think, 2 games to the ACC conference play?
Yeah, I mean, I think offensively, we pass. I think that's the biggest thing right now, and we have multiple options, guys that can shoot, guys that can drive. I think we're getting more stingy on defense. I think that's an area that we're continuing to try to improve each and every practice and game. And the guys understand that we have to have both to be successful in our conference. We're going to be facing some stiff competition and really good individual players that are all well coached. And, we're going to have to step up, in as we get to conference play.
Yeah, Chance had 6 steals tonight. What did you see defensively from him, and what allows him to have the quickness to take the ball away like he did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he just imposes his will. He's fast, he's strong, he has great anticipation ability. He understands where where it might go, and he's hard to, just get on a side because he's always moving. And, I think he's just got a knack for it.
DeRitter had a stretch. I think he had 10 of his 13 in the second half, and a lot of them came in. It seemed like he got aggressive in that stretch. Did that come from you? Did he identify a matchup? And do you want to see more of that mentality out of him?
Yeah, I think we ran a couple of plays, but he did some of it on his own too, with space to work with, and he got to the basket in a very aggressive way. But I think he was discouraged after halftime. He gets in foul trouble and doesn't play as much as he typically does, shy a few minutes, and so I think he was motivated to play well.
Speaking of fouls, you said in the media availability in October that you wanted your team to be very aggressive without getting into foul trouble. Through 10 games, how would you evaluate the balance that you're looking for so far?
Certainly an area where we can improve. We need to force more turnovers. We need to not foul quite as much, and we need a defensive rebound. Those three things are areas that we're constantly working on. And a lot of that has to do with positioning and just being solid. I thought we had some instances tonight where we did a nice job.
As a head coach, have you had a break that's as long as the one you're going into now, and how will you handle that from a practice perspective?
Yeah, I'm excited about it, and the guys are excited about it as well. I mean, the exams, they're in their exams, or starting their exams now, and obviously that's takes a bit of their time, bulk of their time, and so it's a release for them to come in the gym. And so the focus for us right now is to improve as many areas as possible on both sides of the ball, and we're going to utilize the days, that way.
Is Tillis about where you want him now at this point? Had 8 points tonight, 8 points in the last game. Is Devin about where you want him coming off the injury?
I mean, we all can get better, and I think Devin's a really good player and a calming presence. I didn't play him as much at the 3 today. Typically, he's getting some minutes, there as well. I played him a little bit, and so I think that's something certainly that we're going to continue to do, going forward. He's not just going to sub for tests. So Devin is a really important player for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We'll bring in Coach Hill, and then we'll have Chance and Johan.
Did anybody not get a full stat book?